Hi, and welcome to In Taiwan We Speak, your audio guide to Taiwan's mind-blowing linguistic diversity. I am Alexander Shin, and today in Taiwan, we celebrate Taiwan's diverse culture that this year will be showcased in the Olympics. As you might know, dear listeners, the Summer Olympic Games will take place between July 26 and August 11 in Paris. And to pay tribute to the ancient Olympic tradition to celebrate both athleticism and arts and culture, this year, Paris will also host a massive-scale Cultural Olympiad. There will be a countless number of events, performances, exhibitions, concerts, film screenings, and workshops opening across Paris and France alongside the actual Olympics. And Taiwan is sending its largest yet team of artists to represent the nation, which is over 120 artists according to the Ministry of Culture. And what better place to celebrate Taiwanese culture than a dedicated Taiwan Pavilion? It will be open throughout the Olympics in Paris's Parc La Villette. Visitors to the Taiwan Pavilion will be able to see a total of 60 shows of various genres, and one of them is a show titled Tjakudayi by the TAI Body Theatre, a contemporary dance company powered by indigenous artists of various backgrounds. I am joined today once again by Lin Chihyu, executive producer of the TAI Body Theatre. And by the way, this is Chihyyu's second time on In Taiwan We Speak, so dear listeners, if you would like to learn more about TAI Body Theatre, please revisit our episode with Chihyu from Season 1. Chihyu, thank you so much for finding time for me once again. I know it's a very busy season for you.
Hi Oleg, good to meet you again.
So Chihyu, you're going to the Olympics. Yay!
Yay, going to Paris.
Tell me please, what was your reaction when you first found out that you and your company is going to the Olympics?
It's a big honor because during the COVID, we haven't go abroad to perform for many years. So it's quite exciting for us.
So who told you the news?
So I think there's a curatorial team from Ministry of Culture. So they kind of like did choose and curate like certain groups from different kind of field. And it was like, in the beginning, it's like they asked us, do we have the time? And then what are we thinking about this invitation? And we think of course, it's a good opportunity because we like to perform in different places to communicate with different audience. So we are like happy to be there.
Are your teammates happy about this opportunity as well?
Yes, because of course, like everyone wants to go abroad, because every summer is our very like high season for us because we're doing the camp in different city, and we also have performance this year on July. So we know it will be a very tight schedule for us, but we are happy to be there. And also because we are going to perform like one of the previous production, and we have been performing for many years. So we are also very excited to do it in Paris.
Mm. So this year, Taiwan aims to showcase its culture in all its diversity, right? So the theatrical troupe Minhua Yuan will bring Hokkien opera to Paris. We will also see Romxing Hakka opera troupe. And of course, the singer-songwriter Abao will be there among many other groups. How do you feel being in a company of such a diverse cultural delegation?
Because in the beginning, when the invitation is coming, we already see like other group, like other peers are showing together there. And then later on, when we see the like stage design, and then we feel, we kind of like understand like the Ministry of Culture want to present like the Taiwan local culture. So the stage will be like the Taiwan like stage truck, like you can see everywhere. But it's quite interesting, like because this stage truck mostly it will be in like temple fair, this kind of traditional ceremony or something. But actually for us, it's kind of out of our context. So it's quite interesting. And when you see the setting, like it's really colorful, right? So it's very different from us. So we specifically choose this Tjakudayi, this production. It's more, we would say, it's a kind of like quiet performance, and then all the setting, like our setting, it will be very calm and very dark. So it will kind of show the difference and kind of the visual conflict for the audience.
Yeah, because I've been to one of your performances called Flying Battle Nut, and it was, the space was quite dark and the performance was quite solemn. That really contrasts with the images of the Taiwan pavilion that Ministry of Culture already put out. Quite frankly, I cannot imagine performance like the Flying Battle Nut, let's say,
Yes.
on a stage like that.
Yeah, because I think when we see the Taiwan pavilion, and also because it's regarding to our like this year's discussion of our team and also our previous production, Sin Body, we are discussing the from Japan period, like how the government, this like ruling party, they bring the indigenous people to be presenting in the kind of expo event, and then how our culture was selected or forced to be presented to the audience. So when we see the Taiwan pavilion, we kind of also remind us about this export thing. Like we a little bit think about, it's already like over 100 years, but it seems like everything still doesn't change. We are the government still doing this kind of presenting thing. But of course, like I think it's also very important for Taiwan for us to want to show like diversity of culture. But as TAI Body Theatre or for our team, we will also think about this kind of issue or discuss, and we try to also remind ourselves, because I think we cannot present in Taiwan. We are not, maybe we do present like part of the culture from us, but can we really present Taiwan, the whole country, or what is the whole mapping of this kind of Taiwan pavilion? So I think it's also really interesting during the whole process working for this production, or when we're seeing this Taiwan pavilion, the setting of something, like our team keep talking about other issue like behind this as well. Like for us, it's important to think about this and to remind us about this issue.
And do you think you'll have, when you're in Paris, you'll have this opportunity to remind both the world, but also people back home in Taiwan, that this is such a nuanced topic and that you're not representing indigenous cultures in their very traditional and typical understanding, but that you are a contemporary dance company, that yes, a lot of your performances are informed by indigenous culture or folklore, but this is a new form of art and this is a genre of its own.
I think it's like they are quite complex, and for us, of course, if we have this opportunity, if we can discuss with the local audience in Paris or with the peers like that from the other company about this issue, it will be very important. But of course, I think everyone in the different position, in different kind of, we have different backgrounds, so maybe it's not really, it's also out of their context to think about this. But as TAI Body Theatre, I think because it was one of the issues, we discussed it for a long time, so it's also very important when we, before we go in there, we kind of remind us and keep talking about this when we are in Paris. Or I think of course we can see this kind of heritage everywhere, like Paris hold the Olympic game 100 years ago, and it was also the time like when this colonial country, they try to big a lot of giant event to show their power and their strength. I think if we have time, of course we want to go to the museum to see this government, how they keep the heritage before, and also the export heritage as well.
Thank you so much. I think this is definitely a very important conversation. Now let's speak about Tjakudayi, such as the title of the show that TAI Body Theatre will bring to Paris. What is this performance about?
So Tjakudayi is a Paiwan term, and it means like don't know what to say, this kind of feeling. And this production is inspired by the novel with the same name, Tjakudayi, How to Say I Love You, by our member Yixing. So Yixing writing this novel, this story, and based on in the Jaya Avus community in Pingdong. And then we have this production we premiere on 2013, but actually it's quite different in that time. And then on 2014, our team, we went to Jaya Avus community to learn about the traditional singing from the community, and then we put more like this traditional singing in this production. And then because for the Paiwan community, they use a lot of singing to express their feeling. And then so through the singing, we think it's very important for Paiwan people to kind of to express themselves and also communicate to different people. So in this production, you will hear a lot of like traditional singing, especially from the Jaya Avus community.
The word Tjakudayi, so it means like I have nothing to say, right? Like, is it I'm speechless kind of feeling?
It could be like hopeless, but not that strong. It's like a lot of like a sigh and like don't know what to do now. The novel is talking about like one couple because the husband need to go abroad to work, and then they're like the distance and something like they cannot really being together. But of course, this production is not really talking about this story. So that's why I decide not to talk about this novel so much. Of course, it's inspired by this, but it's not really talking about the text. The song and the singing we choose is about the emotion.
Audience members who come to see Tjakudayi in Paris will be able to sort of feel the range of emotions presented by this music, right?
Yes. And then, as I mentioned before, I think Paiwan people long time ago, they use a lot of this singing to communicate or to express themselves.
But you're a contemporary dance company. There's gonna be singing and dancing?
Yes, of course. But they just like the dancer also sing. And there's a lot of singing in this production.
I guess we just need to see it in order to know what it is. Sadly, I won't be able to be in Paris in early August, which is when your performances will take place. But I really hope that our dear listeners, at least some of you, will be able to be there in Paris and see all the performances from Taiwan, especially TAI Body Theatre's Tjakudayi. And then please let us know what you think about it and what exactly you felt when you were there watching this performance. So you and your team must be very busy these days, right?
Yes.
Are you guys rehearsing all the time?
Yes, but coincidentally, we have our new production on July, and also based on the Jaya Avus community. And this year is also the Jaya Avus community. They are forced to move from their old tribe to new relocation. So we feel like it's kind of special for us that this year we spend few time in Jaya Avus community. Of course, we rehearse, but also we spend some time to really talk to the community or the elder generation. And then when we use this kind of like old singing, traditional singing, we also want to hear from the community. So it's quite interesting. And then it all happened in this year, in these few months. So I think it's a lot. We get a lot of new learning recently.
You must be very busy. Which is why I have to thank you for being here for this interview. And generally, are you excited about Paris? Will you have any free time there to maybe go and see also Olympic events?
Actually, we only have one free day. So let's see what we can do. So maybe we will go to see some like, I would say the pavilion in the expo as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Chihyu, for your time here today, for sharing about Tjakudayi and your trip to Paris.
Thank you, everyone. Masalu.
And dear listeners, thank you for tuning in. I am Oleg, and this was In Taiwan We Speak. See you next week.